Good morning, it's Tuesday, and Sensei says it's time to act today on something you want to manifest. But you may have to face a fear before you can pull that trigger. From my smartphone to yours, keep streaming for your Tuesday Namaste Today. Good morning and welcome to Namaste Today, the happy way to start your day. I'm your spiritual life coach, stepº27. It is a pleasure to be here. Namaste. Thank you so much. And this is a fabulous episode for, of course, Tuesday, May 17th. My question to you today is, are you ready to act? That's because the time today has come to act on our desires, but we may have to face a fear. We call that Black Lilith. We may have to face a fear before we get there. But before we talk about that fear, let's first do the Zodiac weather. Today in the Zodiac weather, it is for Tuesday, May 17th, 2016. The Great Human Walk has reached step 27, Taurus today. That means our ruling number will be 9. Our ruling planet is the beautiful planet of Mars, which has a lot of attention these days, right? Today I predict our mood is going to be partly cloudy with a chance of anxiety. That's people getting in balance with themselves and getting connected to themselves. And I believe our emotional mood will be eventually fairness and balance. But in the beginning, it might be anxiety. So our emotional mood will end in fairness and balance. And our mental focus is restoration of peace. And I do mean restoration. Mercury is retrograde, so we're back here again. So it's going to be, I guess, in essence, we're trying to bring peace, but we're taking a lot of action. And that really brings me to today's Lightwalker Newsflash. Today's Newsflash is, with Mars retrograde, if you're into that sort of astrology thing, fate and destiny, I believe, is upon us. I believe fate and destiny is upon us. It's my belief that when we go into a Mars retrograde or we go into a Venus retrograde, we actually pull out subconscious parts of our personality, which really is God's trigger of getting past life storylines in motion. And I watch myself, I watch the parts that come out of myself during a retrograde. Well, we're in a Mars retrograde, and friends, we're going to be in this retrograde a long time. It's going to continue until the end of June. But now, we're about to take action. Today's an action day. Today's a day to go forward with your manifestation. And Mars is retrograde. That means that whatever action you're taking is the one that's coming out of you subconsciously, the ones that the suggestions are coming out of you, coming in dreams, coming in changes of feelings. And so really, we have destiny and fate upon us. Now, one thing I want to let you know before we go into the Megascope today, which is what is fate? What is destiny? A lot of people ask me that as an astrologer and a psychic. What are these things? Well, Sensei's opinion is this. My opinion is that it is destined or fate for two people to meet in a lifetime. That is destined or fated. But I argue what happens after that is this lifetime's creation. So it is not necessarily destined that the two of you open up a restaurant together, but it was destined that you'd meet up again. And did your soul think that a restaurant idea would come out of it? Maybe. Absolutely. Okay. So a lot of times people say, "Oh my God, I have my past life person is lover has shown up, or I have a past life issues coming up. It must be fated. It's my my soulmate." It's like, no, and I always say, no. What was fated is that you ran into your soulmate. What the two of you want to do from that is up to you to decide. And I always coach my clients, like, you should definitely do some meditation and ask your spirit, and they should ask theirs, why is the two you are there. Also in readings, I'm really good at telling people what I think it is, because it's pretty clear. So today, fate is upon us. And I don't think there's any escaping fate, because funny thing about fate, those choices come up so fast and we act on them so quickly, we often look back and go, I can't believe I did that. It's like, yep, there was something, that moment, being there in that moment was fate. And you being with a suggestion to do something was fate. And you'll find that led to that, who met Susie, who then, how I met my wife. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how it all works. So before we send you on your way, let's take 3 breaths. I suggest, as a spiritual calisthenic, that you take 3 breaths so you're connected to your deep self and aware of what those impulses are. Okay, so what comes to mind today has to do with finding one's inner peace first. Today, I think, yesterday was really the day where we had to struggle for balance and come into our balance yesterday. So yesterday would have been, although a very professional day, inside we were trying to balance back and forth. Today, it's not that, you're so much out of balance, but it's that you want to do something or you want to go out there and get something done, and your life is feeling out of balance. You just can't, unless this happens, it just won't be good. So what Spirit is showing me was that on the one hand, get yourself in balance. You got to connect to your own balance, feel balance in yourself, know what that feeling is, own that feeling before you go out the door. But then it's about listening for your moment. Listening for your moment, waiting for your moment, and your moment to act or pull the trigger or whatever. I'll tell you, it's been my experience as Sensei. You have to be listening to your feelings. You'd be listening to your intuition, all right, your psychic side, because you'll get like a little bit of a bell ring on that side. And usually I'll even get like another sign, like someone will walk in the door and say something. Like, it's like, that's your moment. Take your action. Speak up. Say you want the raise. Say this isn't working. Light that little spark that starts change forever. And be in touch with yourself, because if it is something way out of your norm, you might want to make sure this is what you want. Check your heart to make sure this is what you want, okay? So I want to give you 3 takeaways every day, and gosh darn it, I forgot yesterday, okay? So listen to yourself and be ready to act. Now, your takeaway number 1 is, before you even leave the house, affirm what your heart wants. Before you leave the house, affirm what your heart wants, okay? Know what your heart wants today, what heart wants out of today, and what your heart wants out of the whole lifetime, too. Not everything, but, the thing you're aiming for. Takeaway number 2. Be mindful of your feelings step by step today. Be mindful of your feelings step by step. So that means, okay, I'm driving to work, how do I feel? Okay, now I'm at work, how do I feel? Now I'm parking, how do I feel? Now I'm this, how do I feel? Like, you want to stay in balance, stay in touch with your feelings, and be aware of how you feel, because you want to monitor that feeling for any kind of weird activity today. And then takeaway number 3, be prepared to act. Be prepared to act on an opportunity. If you know something might happen at work, be prepared for that action. Be prepared for what you're going to say. Be prepared for how you're going to respond. So when you prepare for how you're going to act, it makes the actual moment of action go so much smoother. And it gets the heebie-jeebies nervousness out by going through a little rehearsal inside. All right, my friends, for those who subscribe to my personal Sensei service, which gets better and better every day, today we're going to talk about a pep talk on knowing the perfect time to act inside, giving you little clues on how do you know, what do you know, what are the yes signs inside, and your 3 o'clock eye candy, dumbass instincts, that is, what are your dumbass's natural instincts? And by dumbass, I mean our ego, and I do, yes, talk down to the ego because I want the ego to know who's in charge, my heart. Tell that dumbass who's in charge. Well, my friends, I'm so grateful to be of soul service and grateful that you show up. Please tell your friends all about us. And remember, if you come on down to SeriousJoy.tv and you sign up for my personal Sensei service, you can do it for 7 days for $1.99. You'll be entered to win a free reading. 3 free readings I'm giving away in the Friday show this week. So come on down, folks, and find out for yourself. Alrighty. I do love you, my friend. I'll see you tomorrow with more. Until then, live, love, be.
Soulgarden.tv.
Having trouble finding that special soulmate? Oh, I know. Are you ready to find love? So what do you think your ideal mate is? This I can solve for you. Check out Secrets of Birthdays, the Love and Lust Report at secretsofbirthdays.com.